Universal Theme Park Adventure on GameCube, a game based on a theme park that was based on movies by Universal Studios, the giant movie-making machine that made some of the greatest films of all time, from the classic monster movies of the 30s and 40s to the Spielberg masterpieces like Jaws, E.T., and Jurassic Park. Over the years, Universal has celebrated its movie legacy by slowly converting its Hollywood studio location into a big amusement park for the public and destroying film history. You know the Opera House set from the classic Phantom of the Opera that stood on stage 28 for 90 years? Destroyed. The oldest surviving movie set in history, gone overnight to make way for a Harry Potter ride. But, hey, Universal Theme Park was still a lot of fun. You know, in the Back to the Future DeLorean, and then there's volcanoes and shit, and then you're riding the bike with E.T., and then the truck comes and almost hits you, and then you're on the waterfall, and then the T-Rex comes out, and then fucking Jaws is jumping out of the water, and King Kong shaking the tram, and then there's the earthquakes, and then those other movies that you don't even know what the fuck they are, nobody cares. It was awesome! By the 90s, this whole theme park idea was so huge, they opened up a new one in Florida. This is when Nintendo helped advertise it in the movie The Wizard, and then in 2001, Nintendo started promoting it again with this game, which I think sounds awesome. What a great idea to take all these movies and put them into one, using the theme park as a way to tie them all together, and on a new advanced console. How could you go wrong? Fuck is this shit? You're a kid running around the park. While the graphics are fine and definitely seem to represent the basic idea of what a Universal theme park looks like, the camera angles are a problem. First of all, it never moves. You know how in most other three-dimensional games like Super Mario 64, which came out years before, the camera follows the character around. Here, the camera is in a fixed position and only switches to another angle when you reach a certain point on the screen. So you might have to run far into the distant background or all the way up into the foreground without even knowing what's ahead of you. So finding your way around is a total nightmare. Sometimes when you come to a new screen, you start out in the background. You're just a tiny dot somewhere on the screen, obscured by a crowd of people. Where am I? Oh, there I am. It's like a game of Where's Waldo. Now let's get on some rides. What's this? There's a line? Yes, at theme parks you have to wait in lines, but why'd they include that in the game? Could they have left that out? But this is even worse than real life because Woody Woodpecker won't even let you get in the line, even though there's less than 10 people. Could you imagine going to Universal and the lines are that short? That would be your lucky day. That would be like a 2-minute wait. But no, Woody's gotta send you away. Like, go away, asshole. Fuck you, you Woody Bunny fucking Pecker piece of shit. You know what you have to do to get in the line? You would never believe this. You have to pick up trash and put them in trash cans. Has anyone ever had to pick up trash at Universal to get on the rides? What kind of idiotic idea is this? First of all, finding the trash is a hassle because of the fixed camera positions. The trash might be as small as a tiny speck on the ground. Then finding the trash cans you'd think would be easy, but they're rare to come by. If a real Universal theme park had as few trash cans as in this game, then they actually would have this much garbage lying around. The worst thing of all, whenever you pick up a piece of trash, it's only 10 points. But to get on a single ride, you might need more than 2,000 points. So you're gonna have to pick up a lot of trash. I want to see Jaws, Jurassic Park. You have access to all these major franchises, but instead they just send the gamer around collecting trash? What were they thinking? They should have called the game Universal Theme Park Janitor. Yeah, great idea. Right up there with Super Plumber Mario Toilet Cleaner. This kid isn't even an employee of the park. Why would he have to pick up all this trash? Poor kid. Imagine all the stuff he has to handle. Fries that have been stepped in, wrappers that are covered in ants, paper bags that are filled with vomited cotton candy. Ugh. Maybe he didn't buy a ticket or something. Maybe the park has a special deal with him like, okay kid, we'll let you on the rides for free, but you gotta help us clean up all this trash. You can also get points from shaking hands with costumed characters like Creature from the Black Lagoon and E.T. Dude, I fucking shook hands with E.T. I mean, come on. So you get all this trash, throw them in the trash can, get enough points, and then guess what? You still can't get on the rides, because you have to cash the points in at the store and buy a fucking hat. Remember that time you went to Universal? They wouldn't let you on the rides unless you wear a stupid fucking hat. And each ride has its own special hat. How do all those other people get in the line? I don't see them wearing hats. At last, let's talk about the rides. They're just little mini games that end quicker than an actual Universal ride. Back to the Future, you're just flying around in a DeLorean through prehistoric times trying to stop Biff, who's also in a DeLorean. Jaws, you're on a boat trying to throw things at the shark. Surprisingly, the camera actually moves, but you still have no control over it. It takes forever to aim, and the shark moves way faster than you, so chances of hitting it are slim. You have as much luck trying to time jerking off onto a passing car. Believe it or not, this game actually makes the NES version of Jaws seem excellent. Jurassic Park, this is just a simple rail shooter. Move the crosshairs and shoot the dinosaurs. This may have worked as an arcade game that you drop a few quarters in, not something you'd sit and play at home. Like an arcade game, it's over just as fast, although much more expensive than 75 cents. E.T., yes, the dreaded E.T., made almost 20 years after the so-called worst game of all time on the Atari 2600. But would you believe, I shit you not, this version is far worse. The control is so bad, all you do is fall, fall, and fall. I can't figure out these controls. It makes me look like an idiot, but I swear, I'm really trying. Imagine playing Excitebike blindfolded, with the controller upside down, coated in rubber cement while seated on a wild bull. And just when you start to get the hang of it, the game ends. Waterworld. Gotta include Waterworld whenever you're talking about great Universal classics. This one isn't even a game at all. It's just a virtual recreation of the Waterworld stunt show attraction at Universal Hollywood, which is a great stunt show, far better than the actual movie. So, for those of you who didn't get to see it live, here you can witness the finale when they crash the plane into the water, splashing the front rows to an ecstatic, screaming crowd of nobody. Must be a slow day at Universal. Then there's Backdraft, which is surprisingly the longest of all the games and probably the best, or should I say the least worst. I feel bad for this young kid who has to put out fires without even wearing any protective gear. As always, you have no control over the camera and may not even see a fire until you run smack into it. The fatal flaw that destroys this almost playable game is the confusing controls. Every time you step into another room or the camera angle changes, the joystick becomes reversed, so you have to reorient yourself and figure out the controls again. It's a mess. And if it seems like I breezed through these really quickly, that's because they're over real quickly. There's nothing more to say. That's all, folks. They're mini-games, sub-games, an afterthought to the main game, which is just going around collecting garbage. A metaphor of my life. You'd think they would have made the rides the main part of the game, but instead they focused on the whole mission of trying to get on the rides. Which is very accurate to how the park is in real life. You ever been to Universal? All you do is stand in lines all day, and every once in a while you get on the ride. So this captures that experience perfectly. A virtual simulation of a day at Universal, with long hours of tedium with short bursts of excitement. Except if you're collecting trash the whole time. I should also mention that the main goal of the entire game is to collect stamps. Yeah, apparently there's a big stamp collecting contest going on at Universal, so every time you finish one of the rides, they give you a stamp. So shooting at dinosaurs, flying around a DeLorean, throwing barrels at sharks, all that is just about winning a stamp collecting contest. If I went on a ride at Universal and they gave me a stamp, I'd be like, what the hell is this? I'll tell you, that's one time at Universal when you'd see me throw something in the trash can, or better yet, I used a stamp on an envelope that I'd send a letter to the game developers asking them, how the fuck did you take so many popular franchises and fuck them up so bad? Even LJN, when they fucked up Jaws and Back to the Future, it was one at a time. Not all at once, and that was NES. This is GameCube. I thought by now games this horrible would be extinct. I didn't even know it was possible to make something so rancid. I guess we'll just leave it at, it was a poor excuse of a game, just a shitty exploitation to promote the theme park. But it even fails at that. It's the worst promotion of all time.
So here we are at the dawn of a new Jurassic Park movie, and this is pretty exciting. Now, I'm old enough to remember when the first one came out. On the evening news, they had so many moms freaking out because they brought their young kids to the movie and they didn't realize that dinosaurs were eating people, so they left during the middle of it. Now, this might be an odd thing to hear about today, but you have to remember back then, nothing like this had been done in cinema before. And since this movie scared the crap out of so many kids, it's even more crazy that this title was even made for the NES. Especially since director Steven Spielberg was also involved in that whole E.T. video game debacle 11 years prior. So with that in mind, let's plop this sucker in and play some Jurassic Park for the NES. And the first thing we get a good look at is that Jurassic Park logo alongside the Ocean logo. And not just the Ocean logo, but a whole shitload of Ocean logos. Just in case you forgot who the hell made this game, I guess. And if you're wondering if this is a joke, nope, this is exactly how it appears in the game. Alright, we get it already. Now we have this iconic T-Rex here opening his mouth and salivating while we make our decision on which option to choose. What's odd here is how there are so many musical options, but not one single trace of the iconic Jurassic Park theme song found anywhere in this game. Wow, and that is a serious letdown, because if you play the Jurassic Park game, well, you'll want to hear that iconic music along with it. But nope, I guess that song is just too much to license from John Williams. Damn. Well, at least the replacement song is pretty darn catchy, but it is a little bit too upbeat for my tastes. In fact, I'd rather have something more drab to listen to while slaughtering helpless baby dinosaurs into dust. But one of the nice touches you'll find in this game is that we get a special cameo by Mr. DNA?
Oh, yeah! Hi, Irate Gamer!
Hey buddy, welcome to the show!
Time for some Dino DNA!
Indeed. So anyway, the game then tells us that all hell's breaking loose, while dropping us right into the middle of the movie plot at the point where all the power grids are failing.
Yep, and your mission is to save old Timmy here from being stampeded on by Triceratopses.
Are you feeling okay?
Oh yeah, sorry. I just got over a bad case of blue balls.
Oh damn, sorry to hear that, buddy. Oh, that's rough. So anyways, well here we are on a dino reserve, equipped with a big old cannon to blast away mini dinos with. Aw yeah, tons of fun, but here's where the linchpin of bullshit comes in. The game only gives you a finite amount of bullets. And when you're out of ammo, baby, you better run like the wind. Because you need to collect or destroy 12 of these dino eggs to advance in the game. Just don't touch the, damn it. Well, yeah, that. Once finishing your Easter egg hunt, you'll be given a key card that grants you access into this building. Once inside, you'll need to find more dino eggs. Well, not quite the deal breaker here, since we only need to find 4 this time to access this computer. And check it out, we can open up the front gate? Ah shit, what the hell is this about? Well, if I check this online help here, it says I need to access the other terminal, which is, where else? Well, the other building on the other side of the level. Don't you just hate these video game rat races that sound like a bad plot device found in a Die Hard movie?
Welcome to the party, pal!
So after exiting this screen... Oh, what the shit? The dinosaur I killed earlier respawned on me? And it took half a second for this asshole to beeline right over to me. I don't even have time to react. So not only do you get to endure the disappointment of accessing the wrong computer, but the game then shits on you by launching this respawn dickhead at you. So now I have to run over to the other building, collect 10 more eggs, and get the key card that I'm looking for. And this task would have been a lot better if they left these stupid question mark packages completely out of the game. Because if you end up opening some of these, they'll explode right in your fucking face! Like, what kind of jokey smurf kind of bullshit is this? In fact, the dumbest thing I've ever seen is this shit right here, where they put 2 boxes side by side. The one replenishes your health while the other blows up on you. What in the absolute fuck is the point of this? Did the game developer just do this so he could sit back later and laugh his ass off on how diabolical his plan was? Because this is just nonsense. Just give me that key card so I can access this terminal and finally open that front gate. Once hot-footing it out of here, well, we finally find Timmy, who's in desperate need of help from getting trampled over by those Triceratops. Well, that was quick. In fact, this whole level is ass-wrenching since your character moves as slow as fucking snail shit. No! Come on, Timmy, move your ass! Oh, you're fucking on your own, Timmy! And if by some miracle you do survive, well, it's on stage 2, where you'll get to do even more Easter egg hunting. Great. So expect bigger dinos. Fuck! Dinos that gang up on you. Double fuck! And even more of this shit. Exploding fuck! And then, after all that, if you played the video game Tubin, well, this next area is, well, kind of reminiscent of that. And even though that's the case, well, this water rafting area turns out to be pretty darn fun. Oh man, finally! Cue the music! Oh yeah, that's more like it. Floating down the stream and gently avoiding these dinosaurs and little logs floating past you. And this becomes a nice respite that calms your nerves until reaching the next stage, where you'll now have to save Lex from the giant T-Rex. Son of a bitch! And I was never able to pass this level as a kid. First off, it takes like 50 bullets just to knock down one of the T-Rex's health bars. Then you have to race around the screen making sure Lex doesn't get eaten. And you also have to keep yourself from getting eaten. Shit! And when you see that little hat floating down to the ground, well, it's game over, pal. Damn it! T-Rex and again! Stop beating me, you dickface! Alright, get behind him! And now! You bitch! Why? Why? My god, they couldn't have made this boss any easier? This is only the second goddamn level! Game over? Oh no, it's more like game raped. Hey, you need some help there, buddy? Hey, what the?
Billy, what are you doing here?
AVGN reviewed this game and now you're reviewing it?
He did? Well, how was I supposed to know? I don't watch him. See? I'm not even subscribed to him. Dumbass.
Try reviewing a classic game instead of a shitty one. Oh, by the way, I drew you some fan art.
Awesome! Let's see it! Get the fuck off my property! Well, he said to review a classic game, and you can't spell classic without ass, so let's review Kirby's Adventure, which is only available for the NES. You'd better like this review. It's not easy since I upload a review every couple of weeks. Even though this game is okay, it could have been a lot better. When you start the game, it keeps reminding you of what game you're playing. I saw it already on the cartridge for Buddha's sake, and here it is again next to a picture of Kirby sword fighting. But when you start out, he never has a sword, and you can't get a sword in this game anyway. Didn't they test this game before they released it? But, wait a minute, let's rewind the tape. Save files? You have to use save files in this game? Why can't I use passwords instead so I can find one on the internet to skip to the last level? I'm not skilled enough to make it there myself. What a bunch of bogus ass cubes. When you begin the game, Kirby comes crashing down on a star, and the game begins. This is the first level, and right off the bat they don't give you any sort of objective. In most games you go left to right, but Kirby can fly, so the first thing I try is going up. But there's nothing there, so what's the point? Where the hell am I supposed to go? They also put a little ledge up here into tricking you into thinking there's some sort of secret up here, but I'm not falling for that shit. After doing some research, I noticed a door. I'm on the first level and it's already fucking impossible. Almost as impossible as that one level in Mission Impossible, with the conveyor belts that are so hard to get past that they kill me before I even reach them. Which is definitely a problem with the conveyor belts. I don't know why they made this game a side-scroller. They should have made it a puzzle game. All of these ledges are pointless. You can just fly right over them. There's no limit to how much, how often, or how long you can fly. So why did they do this? They even have ladders you don't need. What were they thinking? This is even more ridiculous than that one scene in Ring King. Holy shit. It looks like they're getting blowjobs. What do you mean explaining the joke ruins it? Fuck you. Hey, what the hell? Did I just die by falling into a pit? Kirby can fly! He shouldn't be able to die from pits. Didn't they test this game before they released it? This is just about as retarded as getting chased around by a logo, just for an excuse to film a cute cat running around. Kirby's only attack is eating them and spitting them out. That's all. No special moves, no power-ups. Where do these enemies go after Kirby spits them out anyway? In the toilet with the rest of my shit?
Where the hell do these things keep coming from?
After you clear an area, you get on some trampoline thingy. It tells you to push A, but no matter how many times I push B, nothing happens. So what the hell is wrong? I can't believe they missed a game flaw this big. And you don't even get anything for using the trampoline. What a piece of cowabunga trampoline shit. Once in a while, you'll come across a bonus stage, like this crane game. The machine is full of stuffed Kirbys, so which one should I get? How about this one? Ah, fuckballs. This game is unfair. After doing some research, I discovered that you have to pick up a pink one. Why couldn't they tell me that from the beginning instead of making me find out the hard way and lose my chance? Alright, let's try it again. Bullshit! There's also the shooting range. Wait a minute, how could this happen? Wasn't this game made for kids? I can't believe this shit. There are guns in a Nintendo game. So don't be fooled by the cute atmosphere and bright colors.
Cool game, can I play?
Aw, shit. Now my cousin Timmy's gonna have nightmares for a week. We'll be right back after this commercial break, because this shit is good enough to go on TV. Tired old shitty card games? Then you're in luck, because the third-rate gamer card game is here. It's totally awesome. Just check out this satisfying customer.
I love the third-rate gamer card game. It saved my life.
Order now! Order else, bitch! We now return to the third-rate gamer show, only on Nick Jr. The worst thing about this game is the power-ups. You gain abilities by swallowing certain enemies. But how was I supposed to figure that out? Some enemies don't even give power-ups. Cheap bastards. There's even an invincibility power-up, which is a direct rip-off of Luigi's Mansion. And one that causes Kirby to turn blue. None of the other power-ups change its color, so why does this one? If the ice power-up turns you blue, shouldn't the fire one turn you red? Inconsistent piece of fuck. But by far the most useless power-up is the sword. For one thing, it doesn't have a long-range attack, so you have to get in close to your target. Why would anyone want this? Get this power-up and you're as good as dead, so avoid it like the fucking plague. There's also this really strange star power-up. Let's see what it does. Holy shit! After you defeat the first boss and clear level 1, next you move on to level 2. I just thought I'd explain it in case you didn't know. Ice Cream Island? Well, maybe if it was a shit sundae, then maybe that description would be a little bit more accurate. The level 2 boss is one of the most frustrating bosses in this game. It's the sun and the moon. But this sun is even more ridiculous than the sun in Space War, which has gravity for some stupid reason. What a bitch. After you defeat the sun, you have to fight the moon. And then the sun just joins the fight again anyway. I thought I killed him. Didn't they test this game before they released it? I didn't know the sun could be a zombie. I can't take any more of this shit. I wish I was later in the game. There we are. This is a boss fight against Beta Knight, and you have to use the sword. Are you shitting me? This is a Kirby game. We shouldn't be sword fighting. Where am I? Dreamland or King Arthur's court? More like King Arthur's balls, because this game sucks balls. And he hides his face, too. What kind of a wuss doesn't even show his face? After making it to the last level, you notice something wrong. Like something is missing. I guess nobody was able to make it this far in the game to notice this glitch before releasing the game. They should have had me on the team. They could have used my mastery of video games to find this glitch. And now it's time for the final boss fight, King Dead Eddie. And after that, you fight a giant ball. I guess when I said this game sucks balls, this is the actual ball that the game sucks. Too bad I can't suck it. This fight even has a time limit. But when you win, you move on to the third final boss, which is Dracula. But for some reason, he looks more like the Grim Reaper. And then there's the ending, where Kirby talks about dreams. You mean this whole game was a dream? What a jip! I wiped my ass with this ending. I can't believe how horrible this game was. I guess Nintendo is just jealous of companies that know how to make good games, like LJN and Wisdom Tree. But after doing more research, I discovered there's another Kirby game, Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy. You're telling me that this is the sequel to Kirby's Adventure? Why couldn't they just call this Kirby 2? Fuck farts. I had to beat up a 6-year-old girl at a convention to get this game, and she put up quite a fight. But look how shitty this game is. You can't even get power-ups in this game. Isn't this game fun? No! So it turns out Kirby's Adventure is the perfect predecessor to the first Kirby game. I hope you enjoyed the review. I had to rewrite the script a dozen times because I wanted it to be crap instead of pure shit. Now let's, put these games on the moon.